Hey, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another Black Clover video. This is Broku no Hero, and it is another interesting theory today. So a few weeks ago I did Luck being the son of Thor as a theory, and this one you might think is crazy, but there's actually some sort of potential foreshadowing and a lot of different plot points that really could make this make sense. Now again, this is just a fan theory. I'm not saying that Yami is actually half giant. I am just putting out a fan theory. So don't mistake this that I'm saying this is the truth. A lot of you guys, for some reason, thought that I was making the claim that Luck was actually the son of Thor, when that was actually just a theory. That's the same for this video. I'm not claiming that Yami is half giant. I am making the video, making the theory that he could be. So, I'm going to go over a bunch of evidence, and yes, guys, this will include manga spoilers, so I can't really give this theory without giving the evidence from the manga. So if you haven't read the manga, go read the manga, read the damn manga. If not, wait till you've gotten to this point in the manga, and if not, if you don't care about spoilers, go and just watch this video. I will leave a link down below in the description where you can read Black Clover on Viz. So guys, I'm going to give a lot of my evidence to why I think Yami Tsukihiro, our favorite captain of the Black Bulls, is half giant or half Jotun, depending on whatever Tabata is want to call these things, because in Norse mythology, it depends on, there's different fictions of Norse mythologies. In a lot of the Thor comics, the giants are referred to as giants, when in reality, in the actual Norse mythology, they're Jotuns. They're the Jotnar. So Jotuns and giants are pretty much interchangeable. So basically, giants is just like the English word for the Jotuns, even though it doesn't properly fit, because not all Jotuns are giant in size. There's a lot of Jotuns that are really big, and then there's a lot of Jotuns that are not that big, and then there's Jotuns that are just human-sized. So that means that, either Yami's half giant, or Yami's half Jotun. Don't know the proper term that's going to be used, but I just put giant in the title because it's a more... people know what a giant is. Not everybody knows what a Jotun is. So, guys, one of the first things that we need to talk about before this is that, is this even a possibility? Does this take place in Norse mythology? And there's actually a decent bit of evidence that this does take place in the world of Norse mythology, or at least this takes place in a world or a universe, as in the Black Clover universe is a world full of multiple pantheons. Is possible. There's been some Greek and Roman references, but just a lot more Norse references than Greek and Roman combined. So that's why I think that it's at least a very big possibility that this takes place in Norse mythology. I have other videos I'll link you guys down below showing all of these references, and I didn't even get them all. I just don't want to go over them again. This would be like the 5th time I'll be doing that, but I'll just go over a quick one. There is multiple realms, there is races from Norse mythology like the humans, the elves, there's dark elves, there's dwarves. Giants have been teased, and we do know that there are multiple gods, just like in Norse mythology, and there are gods of fate, just like in Norse mythology. So that is a lot of evidence there that Norse mythology is possible destination for the Black Cloververse. But if you want other videos to go fully in depth, I will link that in the description. It's a pretty interesting topic. And this ties into another point from other videos, in that all of the Black Bulls are really special, and at first they don't seem that special, but then they are. Asta, I guess not to us, but to a lot of other people, Asta was just a kid with no magic, but really, he has a devil in his grimoire. You have Gauche, who we thought was just a weird dude. He ends up being a vessel for an apostle of Sephiroth, meaning that he was a vessel for one of the 10 strongest elves, which is a very important thing. We have Vanessa, who was foreshadowed in the beginning to control destiny, and then ended up being, she is actually controller of fate. And Vanessa is a witch with red thread magic, and she controls fate, just like the Norns of Norse mythology, which leads us into the theory that Vanessa could be a Norn or could be part Norn, which means she is kind of a god of fate. And with gods of fate being referenced, that makes it even more likely. Charmy is a half dwarf. Gordon is from a family of famous poison people. We have Henry Legolant, who is from which was foreshadowed to be from an important family, which means that likely that Henry is a noble or a royal and not just some random guy. We don't know much about Gray yet, and Noel is a royal whose mother was one of the most powerful humans ever. So everybody in the Black Bulls is special. And even like I said, if Luck is not the son of Thor, he was still a vessel for an elf, and he is still a special guy. Now, this leads, back to Yami. Yami, is he special? What's his specialty? And this is why I kind of got into the theory of Yami being a potential giant, or if he was anything. Like, is he going to be part dark elf, part elf, part dwarf, part Draugr, or whatever? What is he going to be? Is he part giant, or a part god, a part titan? What is he going to be? So I kind of looked into, did a bunch of, I have books on Norse mythology, so I went and read through the Jotun section of that, and then I kind of went back and looked at a lot of Yami's moments, a lot of his characters. And so a Jotun in Norse mythology, they are basically their own gods of sorts, and they war with the Aesir and the Vanir, which are the main gods, the gods that the humans usually worship. They are beings of destruction, beings of darkness, and their name more accurately translates to devourers instead of giants. So what's interesting here is that the Jotuns are beings of destruction and darkness. Yami is the Lord of Destruction and has dark magic. So that fits almost perfectly with Yami being a Jotun. Also, Yami is about 6 feet 1 inches tall, which he is not the tallest character in Black Clover, but this would put him at one of the tallest characters of the known heights that we have. So we have Yami's now size coming to this. Now, Yami also has unprecedented physical strength. And now, we don't know how he got it. Was he naturally this strong? Or did he train for it? But still, Yami, we have Asta, who is up and by far stronger than everybody else in terms of physical strength. But Asta didn't have magic, so he has a reason to be that strong. Yami, who not only has magic, but a high amount, why does he have this level of physical strength? He is a very tall and very well-built man, and him being half giant would make that much more likely as to why he's that big and strong. Yami has a personality of a Jotun, easily pissed off. Yami's nickname is the Lord of Destruction, and also the Black Bulls were a group of very destructive people, so Yami, as a destructive leader, led others to be very destructive. The Black Bulls were a good squad, but they would do good, but do even more bad incidentally, which would give them negative stars. Something else that I thought was really interesting and kind of a bit suspicious is that, so in Norse mythology, the first ever being was Ymir, who was a giant, and he was created through the fires of Muspelheim meeting with the ice of Niflheim. And so Ymir was the first being. He was a hermaphroditic giant, or a Jotun, and also from these drops, formed a bull, a cow, whose name was Odhumbla. And this cow nourished Ymir with milk from her bulging udder, while she in turn was nourished by blocks of salt in the ice. So, along with the creation of the giants, in that myth, in that mythos, there is a bull. And it's interesting how Yami, who chose his squad to be the Black Bulls, the bull symbolizing the creation of the giants, and Black Bulls symbolizing the darkness of the giants, the Black Bulls. Also, one thing that is weird is that for Yami to have a 5 out of 5 amount of mana, despite being a fisherman from the land of the sun. Now, this leads into a different theory that I've talked with other people on Twitter and on Reddit and on other forums, is if Yami is actually a bastard son, as in he is a son of a noble from the land of the sun, or a bastard of a royal from the land of the sun. But that is not going to play into this theory, because Yami having a high amount of mana could be the potential of him being a half Jotun. As in, if elves and dwarves have extremely high amounts of mana, then Jotuns should as well, as they are a superior race to the humans. So Yami having high mana and extremely high physical strength could be in part to him being a half Jotun. Also, if Yami's from a land where people can tell, you can read ki, and people can use magic to manipulate the weather, and I'm sure you could use ki to try and predict what's going to happen with the weather, or at least something like that. Why would Yami be sent out to go fishing if there's a storm coming? Is it because his father was just disgraced that he had a bastard son with a Jotun, and because of that he was disgraced, he was ashamed, so he left him out to sea. He sent him out to sea, just hoping to never see him again. So Yami has that weird backstory. We don't know much about him. We just know he's from the land of the sun. Now, one thing that you could say that doesn't make sense for him to be part Jotun is, well, he's from the land of the sun, which is obviously Japan. And why would he be part Jotun when the Jotuns have nothing to do with Japan? Well, like I said, even if, you know, Japan can still exist in Black Clover, and you can still have the Norse mythology. So it doesn't, I mean, I guess especially if this is a multiple pantheon universe, Jotuns and Japanese people can exist together. Like, yeah, it kind of throws it off a bit, but still. So I'm gonna kind of reiterate, you know, all the stuff that I've kind of said, and then add on something. The possibility of the Norse mythology taking place in Black Clover is rather high right now. Yami is a member of the Black Bulls, and each Black Bull is special in their own way, and were foreshadowed to have been special, and became special, more special than we always ever thought. Yami has the nickname Lord of Destruction, and his squad is very destructive, and Jotuns are known for being devourers and destruction. Yami has dark magic. Jotuns are known and associated with darkness itself. Yami is 6'1", in height, and one of the most muscular characters in all of Black Clover, and that makes him not only one of the most muscular, but also one of the tallest, so that would also tie into him being half Jotun. Also, Yami's immense physical strength and magical power, despite being just a fisherman, which probably puts him at either commoner birth or peasant birth for him to only a fisherman. But to be of that low birth and to be this physically strong and that level of magic power, I guess I should say physical strength doesn't have to do with your birthright, because Asta is a peasant and he is one of the strongest characters. So what I'm saying is that Yami has magic, and because of that he has also a physical strength, and I'm just guessing that the physical strength partially comes from him being a half Jotun. Yami has the personality of a Jotun, as he's easily pissed off, granting him the name Lord of Destruction, and he's always saying that he's going to kill people, which Jotuns love to kill people. Now, he never does, and I don't know if he actually would kill people, especially was he actually going to kill Seke, you think, when Seke was teleported to Black Bull's mansion? Don't really know. But also there's the thing that Yami's dark magic, for some reason, can't be negated by the Devil's Word magic, so we don't necessarily have a whole grasp on his mana yet and how it works. The Devil's, I believe it's called Word Soul magic, but that's kind of weird how Devil's magic is not working on his. Yet it was working on Licht and Sharla and other people's. Also in the beginning when we meet Yami, he has this weird beast-like face, and a lot of times when this is done, like this was done with Charmy and her cotton sheep thing, and then she ended up being dwarf and her sheep ended up being a wolf. So maybe this was foreshadowing for Yami to actually have been a Jotun this entire time. Now this would be really cool because this would not only bring in another race into the world of Black Clover, but would further show why Yami is so powerful. Now I get it, Ki probably has nothing to do with the Jotuns, but one thing I want to add is, you know, we do know that hybrids in Black Clover are very special. We know Charmy, we know Yuno, kind of, and it would make total sense if Yami was that way, and he kind of gets his weird form that Charmy had. And remember, Yami has that weird limit-breaking ability. That could have something to do with him being half Jotun, because hybrids are special. But anyways, guys, I don't know if I want this to be true. This is just a theory I came up with. I'd almost just rather have Yami be the bastard son of a noble or a royal from the land of the sun. I don't really necessarily want him to be a Jotun, but honestly, this could be pretty cool, especially if it's done and explained well to us. But anyways, guys, that's it for my theory. My theory of Yami being a Jotun, or a giant, or half giant, half Jotun, or at least some sort of hybrid. But that's just my thoughts, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. Please do leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Hope you guys all have an amazing day. Plus...